Hey listeners, I just wanted to give a quick thanks to Simon Loveridge, who very generously provided us with the battle music you'll hear in this episode. Please check out his excellent work at youtube.com/user/Simon Loveridge. That's Loveridge. Thanks. Welcome to Extraordinary League, an actual play RPG podcast brought to you by Smash Fiction. I'm Dan Mulkerin, your game master. Playing Stitch is Kit Mulkerin.
It's a me, Stitch.
Playing Dante is Liz Logan.
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue of a metal endoskeleton. I'm Dante, hi.
Oh god, it's like Phyrexian in nature, it's taking him.
Playing Nico Minoru is Miles Schneiderman.
Okay, so we're in Mario Land, but of course I can't just, sit here and say that my kind of nerdy teenage character has been playing Nintendo for years, and so knows everything about the place. What I need here is some sort of established reason for the entire landscape of popular culture to have shifted in such a fundamental way. We do know that when the Runaways play video games, they seem to involve playing as other Marvel characters who are, for them, real-life superheroes. Maybe the very existence of real-life superheroes completely negated the need for them in fiction, and oh shit, I just accidentally wrote Watchmen.
Happens to the best of us. Playing Luna Lovegood is Megan Bob.
Dear Morden and Archer, we arrived safely on Blueberry. It's not called Blueberry, though, of course. We're in the Mushroom Kingdom. The colors here are so bright, and everything looks sort of roundish. I can't describe it very well, but I enclosed some blades of grass so you can see what I mean. We've already made a friend here, so I think it's all going well. I'll send more samples and some sketches when I can. Lots of love, Luna. P.S. Please give Venusaur a hug for me.
Aww.
Anytime.
Playing Vivian from Paper Mario is Claire Mulkerin.
Birds pretend to be innocent with people around, but they're actually really well informed.
Oh, that's so cute.
They usually just yell, "Want some buck?"
Yeah, why else would you make sounds unless it was to announce your availability as a bird?
Bird dick, right here.
Thank you.
Come and get it.
Pause for bird dick. Previously, Flemeth helped the League to narrow down the location of one of the gems needed to defeat Phyrexia, a blue sapphire. However, the gem was located on a world that the League hadn't yet explored, so Stitch, Dante, Nico, and Luna were sent in blind to find it. The world you've arrived in is a strange world of mushrooms, pipes, and floating bricks. You met up with a local, a shadowy creature called Vivian, who told you that you were in the Mushroom Kingdom. The most likely candidate for the gem you're seeking is the brooch that Princess Peach wears, but according to Vivian, Princess Peach is in hiding. It seems that the Mushroom Kingdom has been conquered by a tyrant called Bowser and his Koopa Troops. Utilizing strange technology, they took over the Mushroom Kingdom, and even this world's greatest hero, Mario, wasn't able to stop them. Peach has since founded a resistance movement, the One United People, but they don't yet have the resources to fully stand up to Bowser. Vivian suggested going to Yoshi's Island, a place which Bowser has turned into a prison for its native dinosaur-like inhabitants. If the Yoshis can be freed, they might be able to turn the tide in favor of the resistance against Bowser. Before all of you could proceed with this plan, however, you attracted the attention of a detachment of the Koopa Troop, who attacked. Let's roll initiative.
Always a wonderful way to begin League.
I like to think so. Dante?
12.
Stitch?
12.
Nico?
I got a 7.
Luna?
I also got a 7.
Vivian?
I got a 10.
To remind you guys, there are 4 brown mushrooms with angry faces on them. These are Goombas.
Yes.
There are 2 large tortoises with white feathery wings. These are Koopa Paratroopas. One small
Paracoopas,
cloud.
Dan. Paracoopas.
That not according to the Mario Wiki.
It's Paracoopas. What are they doing?
Not according to Super Mario RPG. You can check my research.
Paracoopas. This isn't hard, people.
There is one small cloud with a little yellow-faced person with glasses looking over the edge. This is a Lakitu.
God.
And there are 2 very large, burly humanoid tortoises with helmets, elbow pads, and a bunch of hammers. These are Hammer Bros. Also, to remind you guys of the scene, you guys were having a picnic in the middle of the Mushroom Kingdom amidst the trees and bushes near a waterfall when these Koopa Troops came charging out of the underbrush after getting beamed in the head by a coin. So, Stitch, you're up first.
Lace gonna do what raptors do and just leap onto a Goomba.
Okay, so Lace is jumping at a Goomba, so let's see a fighting check from her.
Nope, Lace totally misses him.
So Lace leaps at the Goomba and flails, but the Goomba, with a surprising amount of reflexes, actually jumps backward from the flashing claws.
Okay, well.
I think Lace just wasn't used to the fact that when she jumped, it made an audible bring sound.
Is like the gravity on this plane noticeably lighter?
It is indeed.
Interesting.
Stitch is going to grab onto Lace's scarf as she's coming down and use it to, like, spin around her neck and kick at the Goomba
Okay.
as it tries to dodge.
Let's see a fighting from Stitch.
Oh, these dice are dead to me. No, misses.
Nope. Again, Stitch, you're thrown off by the weird way that physics behaves on this world. It's gonna take you a bit. Dante, what would you like to do?
Well, fuck everything about this. I'm going straight double trigger right away.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Wow.
And one point of update, when I go into double trigger, I have so much testosterone flowing through me that I magically grow a beard in 2 seconds.
Can I remind you that you will not be able to use Devil Trigger for the rest of this arc?
Oh, really? I thought it was just like episode.
Nope, it's the rest of the arc. You can use it once per arc.
Okay, I won't use double trigger, but I will take my bag of beard hairs and put it on.
This raises more questions.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
no.
like mini double trigger.
I want to know whose hairs those were.
Liz, I wish you could see the look on my face. It's just I don't even know how to.
I wish I could see it
register
too.
All right, great. Dante, what would you like to do for your actual real turn, please?
I don't have a sword, but I have my Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 T800 arm.
Well, hand, but yes.
Well, I'm gonna punch something with that hand.
What would you like to punch?
Everything? No. A mushroom.
Okay, going for a Goomba. Let's see if you can succeed where both Stitch and Lace failed. Go ahead and roll fighting, please.
Yeah, well, guess what? I just got a fucking red!
Yeah. Dante, you leap past the befuddled Stitch and Lace and land with your new cybernetic hand directly on top of the Goomba's head. Woo! The entire Goomba is like crushed completely flat by the force of the impact and then just vanishes,
Yeah!
leaving behind a single gold coin.
That I collect and put in my beard hair bag.
Vivian, it is your turn.
Yeah, so some of these people seem to be flying. That might be a problem. I'm like sort of tethered to the ground most of the time, it appears. So I don't think Vivian's a great jumper. I think I'm just gonna use Shade Fist and punch a nearby Goomba then.
You want to describe what Shade Fist looks like?
Oh, and I haven't watched the little animation for a while, but I believe it's basically she just like kind of charges up a hand with a little bit of magic and then punches somebody and it sometimes lights them on fire.
There you go. Little magic punch.
Yeah, that's a light.
Okay, you envelop your fist in magical energy and close your eyes and swing, and are like several feet away
Right.
from the Goomba you were targeting.
I hope nobody saw that. Need to make a good impression on these guys.
All right, the Koopa Paratroopas both retract their heads and legs inside their shells. Their little white feathered wings begin to flap more quickly, and they sort of do this like ramming body slam at you. Vivian, you have one coming at you?
I'm gonna evade.
Oh, that's right, you can evade.
Yeah.
That's just a thing you can do. Vivian has an ability which allows her to do evade, which is a more powerful version of dodge.
Ordinarily that takes your whole turn, but I can do it for free. And I got a yellow.
Excellent. This paratrooper comes flying at you. You disappear into the ground as it flies through the spot where you just were and stops just behind you, looking around in confusion as you pop back up. Vivian, should you decide to attack this target, you will get a +1 column shift.
Woo!
And the second Koopa paratroop is going to attempt to ram into Dante. Dante, you are getting hit and you cannot dodge or block, so you take 10 damage.
Ha! Loser.
The tiny cloud man, the Lakitu, seems to dig around somewhere in his cloud and then throws out a red ball. When it hits the ground, it seems to sprout spines and sort of get up. And it's now a small turtle-shaped creature with a red shell with spines all over it. A Spiny has joined the battle. Luna, it is your turn.
I'm gonna fly up to the Lakitu.
Okay. What are you doing with it?
Why are you attacking us in particular?
It sort of like cowers behind a piece of its cloud, and he says, well, you're enemies of the Koopa Troop.
Oh, do we need to be enemies? Is there another way? What if I gave you some of these pepperonis from earlier?
Those are my pepperonis!
Dante, you're very busy right now! Although I will save you some for later as well.
Luna, why don't you give me a psyche check with the bonus for persuasion if you have it?
I do not have persuasion. Just
All
a lot
right.
of hope. Yet I failed miserably. I've just wasted my pepperonis for nothing.
You hold out your pepperonis to the Lakitu, and he scurries back like it's a loaded gun.
Oh,
That's right!
I'm sorry.
Because those are mine!
Nico, it is your turn.
Luna, your idealism is really, really charming, I gotta say. But not always maybe the most useful in combat.
Probably not.
I think you need to be a little bit more, and I point my staff at the Lakitu, down to earth. I'm now attempting to exert an extremely strong gravitational pull on the Lakitu to drag it out of its cloud and smash it to the ground. That's a red.
The Lakitu's cloud suddenly dissipates, and the Lakitu, revealed as a sort of shrimpy-looking, yellow-skinned, green-shelled turtle man with glasses, suddenly falls out of the air and lands on his back where he flails around helplessly on the ground. Alright, the Goombas begin to swarm forward. All of them are going for Lace. All of them are hitting Lace.
Oh, no.
Lace is sort of ganged up on by a whole bunch of Goombas, and she takes a total of 18 damage from the Goombas.
Wow. Those things suck, huh?
The two large and burly hammer bros are now going to charge forward. One of them is going to swing a hammer at Stitch. Stitch, you're getting hit. You're going to have to make an endurance check.
Okay. Karma. I'm just gonna go ahead and to be safe, I'm gonna take it to a red.
Okay, so you are not knocked backwards. You do, however, take 20 damage from the hammer.
Or I don't.
Right, your body armor is sufficient to soak the entirety of that.
So, wait, I'm sorry. What hit me again?
The hammer bro.
Okay.
The big burly turtle with a hammer.
Can we just say, he literally brought it down on me, and I did not move at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say he even brings it back, and like the haft of the hammer is like bent at a 90-degree angle. The second hammer bro, he's going to go for Nico. Swing that hammer.
Saw that coming.
Ooh boy. Nico, I'm gonna need an endurance check from you, my friend.
That is a yellow.
Alright. So you get hit for 20 damage.
Okay, well that was almost all my health, guys.
The difference that 20 damage makes depending on which character you're playing.
Yeah.
Stitch, it is your turn. So at the moment you are in melee with one of the hammer bros, and Lace is being swarmed by Goombas.
She'll be fine. Who just attacked Nico?
The other hammer bro.
Who just fucking attacked Alright, Stitch, just blinks up at the one that did literally nothing to him, grab him by his wrist, and throw him into the hammer bro that is attacking Nico.
Okay, so I'll need you to make a strength check at a -2, and you need to get a yellow or better.
Car. Yeah, I'm gonna get the yellow.
Okay, so you hurl one of the hammer bros across the battlefield and into the second hammer bro. Both go down in a clatter of shells, very painfully. And one of them looks to be stunned by the impact. Both are still up, but they're not looking that great right now. What's Lace doing?
How many are on her?
3.
It's Goombas? Mm-hmm. Alright, she's gonna try and actually bite down on one.
Okay.
Here's hoping she doesn't trip balls.
Okay, go for that fighting check.
Yeah.
That's a hit, I take it?
It's a green.
Alright, Lace begins to chomp down on this Goomba, which is, again, squashed flat and then disappears into a coin.
She does the, reptile chomp and shake.
Dante, it is your turn. You are currently in melee with one of the paratroopers.
What are the stupid yellow thingies? What's the thing that fell to the ground that was in the clouds? What are they called?
The Lakitu.
Dumb thing? Okay. I want to kick the dumb thing like a soccer ball into something else.
Okay, do you have a specific target in mind, or just wherever the wind may carry it?
Are there more magic mushrooms?
There are 2 Goombas left.
I
yes.
want to kick it into one of them. I'm gonna use karma. Oh my god.
I can never tell when you take this tone of voice if you rolled really well or really poorly.
I think
one
I
of
would
the
know. It's really good. It's a yellow. I'm gonna bring it to yellow.
Okay, alright. Dante, you punt the now cloudless Lakitu into a Goomba, and both disappear.
Ayo!
Vivian, it is your turn. You just popped behind the other paratrooper.
I am going to hit him with a Shade Fist then, now that I'm behind him, and hopefully this bonus will make it go better than last time.
Let's see.
These attacks aren't as good as Morden's. I don't like that. I got a green.
Your fist impacts this guy. He is suddenly surrounded by cascading, burning, magical shadow energy, and vanishes. You have taken out the paratrooper.
I look around to see if anyone else on the team saw it while trying to make it look like I'm not looking around to see if anyone saw it.
While flexing slightly,
Yeah.
I imagine. The remaining paratrooper is going to swoop down and try to pick up Dante. Dante, you flail around, or however it is that you want to say, you avoid getting caught by this guy who is trying to grab you with his stubby little tortoise hands.
I cartwheel, double axle, jump, pirouette away.
So you start ice skating away.
Yes.
In the meantime, Dante, as you are pulling off a perfect triple axel, the spiny, which the Lakitu threw in his last moments of life, is going to come at you, sort of tucking itself into a ball and rolling like an angry sea urchin.
Come at me, bro.
He's hitting, but you can attempt to dodge or block if you wish.
Dodge. Green.
Okay, you manage to jump out of the way, continuing your elegant series of spinning leaps as the spiny tries to no avail to hit you.
First quadruple axle.
Luna, it is your turn.
Nico, how are you doing? Like health-wise?
Not great.
Okay. Nico, can I magic you? Please?
Yes, that's
All right,
fine.
Farula.
And what does that spell do?
That spell gives remarkable healing to one target.
All right, let's see that roll.
Nico's got like a bleeding concussion head style wound, and she's like, please!
Green.
All right, Nico, you are healed 30, thanks to the
Okay.
wave of magical energy from Luna's wand.
Sweet, if only I had that many hit points to start.
And it's your turn, madam.
Oh, that feels good.
Can Nico sign a consent form to Luna that says, please heal me whenever you
Right.
want?
It's a PDR. Please do resuscitate.
Speaking of consent forms, that felt almost as good as making, and I point my staff at the Hammer Brothers, the beast with two backs. I got a yellow.
The two Hammer Brothers are picked up off of their feet by magical force just as they were climbing to their feet, and are slammed into each other face first with sufficient force to knock them both out, and indeed have them pop out into little gold coins. That brings us to the one remaining Goomba, who is still attempting to take down Lace in a valiant, if probably misguided effort. But that's 6 more damage to Lace. And we are back to you, Stitch.
It's only one Goomba on her.
Yes.
Stitch is not dealing with anything currently, right?
Correct.
Nico is fine. Who else is left? The one Goomba?
There's the Goomba and the Paratroopa and the Spiny.
Oh, the Spiny's so cute. Stitch is gonna see that adorable little Spiny. He's gonna suddenly turn to it, and like his ears perk up and his eyes gleam. And can we say the little Spiny like sees him looking at him and gets the little anime sweat drop? Like, uh-oh, what's that fucking blue thing thinking? Stitch is gonna run over to it and try to like pick it up and hold it over his head. You know, so it's like it can't really like resist. Its little like legs are like flailing underneath it. And he's gonna start booping enemies near him with the creature.
Okay, great. Make a strength check at -2.
No! This little thing's like, oh, no, Stitch is chasing this thing around.
Yeah, okay, so you have in your head that image of you picking up the Spiny and booping people, but that it's still in the future for
There's
sure.
like a little, like, bubble cloud of him, like, imagining that in a kind of cartoon drawing
Yes.
form.
Did you want Lace to do anything? There is the one Goomba still attacking her.
She's gonna, lick her lips, realize, oh, that Goomba, not bad. Mushrooms, good alternative to meat.
All right.
Green.
And with one last bite, Lace takes out the remaining Goomba, which brings us to Dante, who is in melee with the single remaining enemy, which is the Paratroopa. What would you like to do, Dante?
Is it flying?
It is. It's not super high up. It's like at about your eye level.
Oh boy. By popular demand, I pull out my guns.
Okay.
So sadly, just slowly pulls them out, defeated.
I'm just like, okay.
All right, are you using both guns?
Yes.
All right, so I'll need you to make an agility check. You get a bonus if you have guns, and then you take a -2 column shift, but you get to make 2 attacks.
Please be good. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that's a white. And that's a green.
Well, your one shot does hit, and the remaining enemy is down. Vivian, it is your turn. The remaining enemy is a Spiny.
Okay, so Vivian's gonna say, you could probably just let it go. I mean, without the Lakitu around or anything, it's probably not gonna hurt us at this point.
Stitch looks at the little creature that, I assume kind of looks up at him, and he points at his, cousin? A hopeful tone?
If we touch it, is it going to be upset? Does it not like being touched, or is it just...
I haven't really tried. They just seem to kind of go with the flow. But, as far as I know, they're usually pretty docile as long as they're not being commanded to attack people, so...
I reach in, I grab something from the picnic blanket, I hand Stitch a strawberry. You want to see if he looks kind of turtle-shaped. They usually like strawberries.
Stitch already put it into his mouth before he realized what Luna gave it to him for.
Is it all gone?
Oh, no. He spits it back up. It's whole. It's still whole.
Just very wet.
And then he, shows it to the Spiny.
The Spiny just kind of, waddles up to it. Its face is, largely concealed by shadow. Yeah. But you get the impression of, it sniffing. And then it just sort of, moves and the strawberry disappears into the shadows beneath its shell. And you just hear, contented chewing.
Stitch, looks up at Luna with, such delight. He took it.
I guess I'm going to crouch down. Do you talk?
It just turns to, waddle in a different direction, looking for more strawberries.
Well... I guess we can just keep feeding it strawberries, but we're going to run out of strawberries before too long. I don't think we can carry it with us, but you know what? Do you want to just give us some more strawberries and we'll go?
That is literally the world's most boring pet. Can we please leave?
Stitch, looks offended.
Speaking of better pets, we could go try to free some Yoshis. They're pretty good pets.
Stitch immediately forgets about it and jumps on Lace's back.
So, Vivian, you did manage to grab a map of the facility that is holding the Yoshis, if you guys want to sort of look at it and come up with what you want your plan of attack to be.
Sure, sounds good. I'll lay that map out.
The prison that holds the Yoshis is a rather impressive edifice with high, strong walls and sentries and plenty of places for guards to post up and attack with significant advantage. But from what the map shows, it does look like the builders overlooked a pipe at the base of the island underwater. This pipe actually leads directly to the inside of the prison. So this would be the most obvious point of attack that you guys can make. But there's room for other plans if you had something else in mind. To give you an idea as to what exactly you'll be walking into in terms of this prison, if you look at the building from above, it's in the shape of an X and is divided up into 4 cell blocks, with each arm of the X being one of the cell blocks. This X-shaped building is then enclosed within a high square-shaped wall, which gives each cell block its own separate exterior yard where the imprisoned Yoshis are put to work. Each cell block only opens onto one yard to prevent the Yoshis from separate cell blocks from coordinating an escape with each other. The exterior walls are almost buildings in and of themselves. They have inner hallways and barracks where the guards are stationed. And additionally, there's a large cannon of some kind mounted on each of the 4 corners of the walls, and any of them can see into any of the 4 prison yards. Although it looks like only 2 of the 4 cannons have perfect visibility into any given yard. So Vivian, looking on your map, you can find where the single generator which powers all of the cannons is located in the part of the facility located underground. There's also a hangar bay located in a cliff face on the island just above the water. And finally, it looks as though the guards maintain 4 separate armories, one at each of the corners of the surrounding wall. That's some of the information you're getting from the map. If you have any additional questions, you can ask, and, you guys can make whatever sort of plan of attack you would like.
Wait, can Yoshis fly?
In Super Mario World, blue Yoshis can fly.
Are there blue Yoshis?
There's probably a little bit of everything in this island.
Right. So some of them, yeah, but not many.
I call that one.
Okay.
Well, they are a people.
Oh shit! No, don't you ride Yoshis though? Aren't they like horses?
I mean, they let you ride them.
Oh, see,
they're like horses that are people.
Okay. I was not aware of that. I thought they were just like cute little aminals that you ride like a horsey.
You just gotta ask permission first, that's all.
Okay.
You have consensual riding.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's sexy.
I just wonder if we could sneak in somehow besides the pipe. Maybe if we could disguise ourselves, or one of wait, can we make Lace look like a Yoshi, and then we can somehow say, "Oh, look, we found this Yoshi," and then something.
Ooh,
How
guys,
good
yeah.
are you at making a Lace look like a Yoshi, Nico?
Well, I mean, Nico probably doesn't have a point of reference for what they look like.
Like Lace, but with less defined edges, you said. So
Just
a
rounder.
softer, rounder
Sand off
Lace.
edges, I guess.
No, don't. Maybe not sand them off.
That's gonna go very badly.
8-bit. I got a yellow.
Nico, you point your staff at Lace and say 8-bit. Lace undergoes a weird transformation. She looks really, like, pixely. And kind of flat, and like is just like moving in 2 frames of animation. It's just like, you know, her hands in one position and her feet in one position, and then they just sort of like switch.
She looks like if a Jurassic Park game was like for the Game Boy.
Basically, yeah.
School Game Boy.
Lace, are you okay with this? We probably should have asked before we did something.
She opens her mouth to respond, and this weird like digitized roar comes out.
I mean, you still look very good right now.
Oh my god. Can you please 8-bit me?
She can only do that spell once.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can only do it once, dude. Sure you don't want to go for 16?
Do it.
I got a yellow.
So Dante, basically, you look like a combat sprite from Final Fantasy V.
Yes.
Like, your head is like roughly half your body mass.
I tried to be gentle, Dante, but that was 16 whole bits going in there, so...
Those were pretty good looking sprites.
I'm gonna say, Dante, until this spell wears off, anytime you speak, there's just like a bar that appears in the bottom of the screen
my God.
that says Dante and then has the text in it.
I'm gonna say Nico gets a bit of a headache right now from casting 2 of the almost same spell back to back.
All right, so we have 2 quote-unquote disguises at the moment.
Vivian, is there any place where we could get maybe some of those helmets or a hammer or a shell no one's using?
I mean, they were probably left around when you guys defeated them, because, like, we see that the Koopas do drop shells and items when you beat them.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Luna puts on a helmet.
all right, so Luna's disguising herself as a hammer brother?
I mean, I have the, like, shoulder pads and the helmet.
Okay.
This is
all
the
right.
perfect disguise.
Can I use this moment to gracefully walk up to Lace, and it says, you know, Dante gracefully walks up to Lace.
Is that what it says, Dante, really?
Yeah.
Dante's being narrated.
So, Dante, you're not a character in a DOS game.
That's fine. It's like, what is it, Zork? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
anyways, I'm not saying I. Dante walks up gracefully to Lace. Dante, would you do me the honor of letting me ride upon thee so we can make a good disguise?
With a beard.
I'm gonna roll mood dice for Lace.
Oh no, that's part of the disguise. Work with me, Lace.
Okay, Dan, check these for me. Double frowny face.
I can confirm double frowny face.
Oh my
like,
god, I
fuck
even
this.
asked permission this time. Ugh.
I'm going to say that given that Dante has more bits than Lace, Lace is actually going to try to ride on Dante. So these 2 are getting into a weird little pixelated fight cloud.
Is anybody else going in a disguise?
Can Stitch fit into one of the bigger leftover shells?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, what color is the shell that's big enough?
I'll say it's green.
Nice. Oh, he looks good.
Yeah,
The blue
you
and
do.
green.
You look very good.
So Stitch squeezes into a Koopa shell.
Yeah.
How are you walking in that?
I mean, it has the little leg holes and the armholes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically a Koopa.
Did I just hear the sound of someone making some new fan art? Interesting. Interesting. Nico and Vivian, are you guys planning on disguising yourselves in any way?
I'm like a Mushroom Kingdom denizen. I think I'm good. So people are putting on disguises. Does that mean we're trying to like go undercover rather than like sneak in?
I think so.
Because you know me, I'm always a fan of undercover. I like undercover, so.
You guys do have a pretty good track record of going in disguise.
Now that you've reminded me, Nico of how that one went, I'm gonna say cloak of invisibility, and that's a green.
I did have a friend who had one of those.
So Nico has vanished. So for all intents and purposes, you guys are a Koopa Troop party of 1 shadow creature, 1 blue Koopa, 1 hammer bro.
Yeah, a very slight wayfish.
And then a very pixelated dude in a red coat and a super pixelated Yoshi. The perfect disguise. Okay, well, you guys have your disguises. What do you do?
Where does the map say we go?
It's Yoshi's Island, so yeah. There's some water between us and there, right?
There is, yes.
How much of a thing is it like to get passage? I imagine it's kind of a thing, right?
Right, so Vivian, you do know of a route to get to this shoreline where you can, like, you know, see Yoshi's Island from. You imagine that the Koopas probably have to visit the mainland periodically in order to resupply. So if you were to find, like, where their ship loaded up, you guys might be able to get passage that way.
Right. Or I could, you know, walk around the shoreline, see if we can grab some froggy suits.
Yeah, you could try to do that. You could use any of the numerous powers that you guys have at your disposal. So, you know, however it is you want to do it.
Stitch he feels something, and then he pops an arm into the shell, digs around a little, and then when his arm comes back out, it's holding two little green shoes. It's like,
okay.
He's gonna put those fucking sick bad boys on.
What's
All right.
the resolution with me and Lace?
I'll let you decide, Dante. Do you come out riding Lace, or does Lace come out riding
Only
you?
with Lace's permission will I ride her.
So, Stitch is gonna walk up to Dante, because he's like covered in scratches now. Pixely scratches. And Stitch is gonna be like, psst, and he's gonna wave Dante, like, down over to him. Give her something.
Dante, what does she want?
Should I give Dante some more pepperonis, maybe?
Yeah, Luna, slip up some peps.
Dante acquired pepperoni. Okay, Dante walks over to Lace. Dante, here, would you like these, sweetheart?
Lace is gonna sniff, sniff, sniff. Chomp. Does she regain any HP?
Sure, Lace regains 1 HP.
Oh, yeah. A little heart appears above her head.
Dante relinquishes pepperoni. Dante climbs on top of Lace.
I like a happy ending. So we have to pass water. Is it a waterway where we can travel, or is it water we just have to cross to get somewhere?
It's an island. We're on a mainland now, so.
So we have suits, we have boats. Can we get on a barge?
Does anyone have any abilities that would let us get there, or should we just,
I have my broom, but the broom can really only carry me and maybe one other person.
I will point out, Luna, you do know Bubblehead Charm.
I do
which
know-
allows people to breathe
This
underwater.
is true.
I'm down for some bubblehead charms. That'd be fun. We could, like, walk along the ocean bottom to get there.
That would be kind of fun. Let's head for the beach.
Vivian, you happen to know that your overall travel time is going to be cut down significantly if you travel via a series of warp pipes. It's a short walk to the first one, which is a large green pipe sticking horizontally out of a rocky cliff face. All of you can easily fit into the pipe. There's a sound like a digitized version of water going down the drain as each of you steps in. There's a sensation of almost unbelievable speed as you find yourself rocketed through the close green darkness, flung around hairpin turns and changing directions without losing an ounce of speed. And eventually, a circle of light appears up ahead and you fly toward it with a speed that will doubtlessly prove fatal. But then, just as you reach it, your velocity is suddenly reduced to roughly like casual walking speed, and you are gently deposited out the other end. The pipe has taken you to what appears to be a snow-covered landscape with white mountain peaks looming in the distance. Vivian quickly finds her way to another warp pipe a short distance away, and the next leg of your journey commences. This continues for some time as you are led on a weird tour of this world through deserts and forests and lava-filled underground chambers. The whole way you are struck by how unrelentingly vital this whole place feels. As though every stone, cloud, or bush you pass by has some degree of life about it.
I liked Westeros much better.
Yeah, me too.
Eventually, you come out of the final pipe and are greeted by the smell and sounds of the ocean. The pipe you've come out of sticks directly up from the white sands of a beach. Out across the waves is a small island, its surface dominated by high foreboding metal walls that send a very clear message: stay out.
Oh my god, it's Yoshi Alcatraz.
Well, Luna's gonna grab a couple of seashells for Morden.
Very good.
Luna sells seashells by the seashore.
Except that's just your text bubble.
Oh god. Dante, parentheses, joke.
Luna does laugh because it's a joke, and she found that rather charming. Dante, that was a joke. That's great.
That's my text choice. Joke. Agree, joke, disagree.
Joke Y/N.
Item, run.
Beard reference.
How far would we have to walk on the ocean bottom, or how far would we have to fly?
It's not a tremendous distance, but the main obstacle just looks to be the deep water in between you and the island.
Like a few miles or something, probably, or what? Like,
Maybe like 3/4 of a mile.
do you guys have some magic or something you can do, or?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I bubblehead Dante, I guess.
So, when Luna waves her wand at Dante, a large, visible bubble of air appears around his 16-bit head. This man has a lot of enchantments on him
I
right
know,
now.
I was just gonna say, we just say that it encapsulates my entire body, because I'm so small anyways.
Sure, that works for me.
Are you smaller than the rest of us? Is that what you're imagining?
Kind of.
Does, the bits make you smaller? Because I thought you were just, the bits, but ours for the same size.
Just really large individual bits.
I'm gonna say no, I'm the same size, but my head is still half my body, but I kind of wanted to encapsulate anyways just because my head is so big. And I'm gonna say I go to the water and test it and I end up in a bubble boy situation, or those stupid spheres.
Like you're stuck?
Yeah, and I just start rolling and I'm I don't think, Dante doesn't think this is going to work.
I mean, I was gonna do some part the Red Sea shit, but that looks fine.
You know, you could part the Red Sea and then just let Dante roll around stupidly in a bubble.
Just send him down. I'll scout.
I really like the part the Red Sea idea. Do you think the Koopas will notice? How observant are they?
Well, we're not trying to be stealthy, right? We're walking in through the front.
Well, then why did we all get in disguise?
Our disguises are
We're
very
having
good.
disguises, but we're not being stealthy.
Oh, well, but then how do they get in the front? We should probably do whatever they do.
Do they usually part the Red Sea to get in there?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to find out.
Confuse
Because I
them.
could totally do that.
Here's what I'm thinking.
You don't even know what the Red Sea is.
We don't know stuff about how things operate inside that base, so we probably can't pass ourselves off as people who work at that base specifically, but we can pass ourselves off as allies of Bowser. I think the way that we should do that is the fact that I'm a Shadow Siren, which are the minions of the Shadow Queen, who's a big bad from an area across the sea, and I could maybe pass myself off as trying to have an alliance with Bowser, and I'm here to inspect Yoshi's, that he's promised us Yoshi's or something, and they didn't get the message, but blah, 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 blah kind of thing.
Oh, that sounds good.
We're your bodyguards? Oh, excuse me, Dante, we're your bodyguards?
Sure. If you think that I maybe have the magical power to part the ocean so that we can travel over there, that might be a good way for us to make a good first impression.
I don't know. I can only part the Red Sea once is the only problem, and I'm not sure if it's not explicitly necessary. Then let's just do the bubbleheads.
That seems
How
fine.
many times are you gonna have the chance, though?
I mean, but it might be really important someday.
We might have to leave in a hurry.
Oh, that's a good point. You know what, Nico? You think ahead.
Also, quick question: what is a Red Sea? This is a Blue Sea.
It is from Bible.
Stitch
How
reads
did
the
you
Bible.
Find out about that.
Stitch looks up at everyone I know things. Honestly, everyone here should know what the Red Sea is except for Vivian.
I would say
Dante
Luna
is a
probably
fucking
does.
devil.
Luna waves her wand, and there's bubble heads for all.
Wait, hold on. Is the bubblehead invisible?
Yours is. No, you know
Okay.
what? Yours is not, although I did try, so it just is kind of reflecting light oddly, but there's
All
just
right.
it's like a floating head, sort of.
Floating bubble.
Okay. All right. Great.
So you all step into the ocean and begin to... I'll leave it up to you whether you want to walk or swim your way there. It's not a long distance either way. But again, walking through the water, which is a very bright blue color out here, swimming by are these white squid with two large eyes, these round red and white fish with a mohawk-like yellow dorsal fin. So you guys know of the location of a pipe at the base of the island, which you could use to get directly inside. Or, as it sounds like you might be leaning towards, you can always try to go to the main entrance of the prison and attempt to talk your way in. What would you like to do?
Well, Stitch does wander off a few times and has to get wrangled back because he was chasing fish. But
course.
Ultimately,
Do you manage to catch any?
I mean, depends how much Luna and the others were.
I'm gonna say you come back at some point covered in ink.
It's great. Yes.
I'm cool with us just going in through the front.
Yeah, I say we talk our way in.
Well, we could split the party and have somebody go in through the back just to...
Hell
I don't
no.
know.
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, quickly, someone mute Dante, quick.
Dan.
Uh-huh.
I'm going in the back.
Okay, you're gonna secretly take the
nice.
subtle route.
Little
Yes.
sneaky bubble.
All right.
I see that bubble wandering off.
I like the
believe
idea
in
that
you.
there's like another bubble that happens to be floating nearby us that we are talking to as though it's Nico, but it's like just a bubble.
And it's like not talking back, and we're like, oh, she's upset.
And then at some point it pops and you guys start freaking out. I think she died.
Nico!
I'm super okay with this.
So Nico, in a fit of Tome of Eternal Darkness fueled teenage peak, you wander off from the others, find the lone disused pipe at the base of the island, and slip inside, and you are quickly propelled into the prison itself. Meanwhile, the rest of you ascend up the side of the island and rise up from the water at the base of the large metal wall, to the great surprise of the troops that were stationed at the wall, who immediately sort of begin scrambling around in a the bosses here look busy sort of way. The troops posted here, there's a number of kind of smallish humanoids wearing like full body hooded robes. They have masks on their face. They kind of look like gas masks with like kind of a large circular cannons sticking out where the mouth would be. In addition, there are walking around what look like large black bowling balls with faces and tiny feet and a little wind-up key on the back with fuses on top. So yeah, all of them are walking around when you all emerge from the sea, and one of the little guys wearing the mask says, "Stop in the name of Bowser! What is this exactly?"
A diplomatic visit.
He looks you up and down and says, "A diplomatic visit? From who?" One of the bob-ombs kicks him and says, "It's whom." And he says, "All right, fine, whom?"
This is how you would address the Shadow Queen?
And the Shadow King.
Ew, Jesus.
I mean,
Oh man, and the shipping
Dante
continues.
immediately going off script.
God, please tell me that Vivian said ew out loud.
It's a very new relationship.
Oh God, arranged marriage.
So new she hasn't been informed of it yet.
I say you're the Shadow consort to the Queen.
That's right.
Ooh, burn, dude. You just got demoted.
Dante doesn't know that.
The sniffet at the gate says, do we need to give you guys a few seconds to figure out what your relationship is?
Don't speak that way to a royal.
What exactly are you here for?
We're here to inspect the Yoshis. We're supposed to be a shipment of them is supposed to be sent over to Rogueport within the next week or so, and I came along to inspect them to make sure that my troops over there are going to be adequately outfitted.
He turns to the bob-omb and says, "Did you hear about an inspection and Yoshi shipment?" And the bob-omb shakes his head, which involves him shaking his entire body back and forth. And the sniffet looks up and says, we'll probably have to call this one in. We need to make sure that all this is on the up and up.
Do you want people to know how bad you are at your job?
I say, yeah, we can call it in. We can call it Bowser if you want. But I don't know how he's going to take it when, you bothered him in the middle of, I believe right now is about his bath time. And he gets very cranky if he gets interrupted during his bath time.
Luna and Vivian, I'm going to need both of you to make psyche checks with a bonus for intimidation.
I do not have intimidation, you will be surprised to know.
May I use persuasion, or was that intimidation pretty clearly?
It's either intimidation or deception.
Oh, I have deception.
It's not persuasion.
I'll use deception. I have that.
You know what, Karma?
Can I intimidate?
You have to say something if you want to intimidate Dante.
Oh, I was just gonna stand there with my very large head.
Intimidatingly large head.
I like to think that Dante in this form intimidates, where it just says Dante : ...
All right, it's green.
I got a white.
They look actually a lot more cowed by Luna and her just sort of sheer fury than they do by Vivian, who's kind of like stumbling through this. They're like pausing in there, calling it in, but they look undecided at this point. Someone's gonna have to try to push them over.
Stitch.
Stitch is gonna just like take a breath and yell, "Stupid heads!"
Okay.
Kind of don't want to fail at this. But I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'll use karma. It's a yellow.
Yeah, Stitch yelling, like, basically almost blows the two of them off of their feet, and they begin running around like headless chickens, as do the rest of the troop stationed out here, as they work to open the gates for their dignitary. The sniffet runs up to Vivian and says, well, of course, Shadow Queen, is that I'm sorry, my knowledge
Are
of...
you asking me to repeat myself?
Can I offer you a tour of the facilities, Your Highness?
Sure. Look, she looks at the rest of the team.
Kitchen first, please.
Oh, of course. You must be very hungry after your long journey. Please allow me to escort you to our facilities. I think you'll find them. Well, you'll find them. And then he starts walking off into the interior of the prison.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to be a bother. Oh, I mean, yes, do it.
Nico, in the meantime, you have emerged from the pipe, still soaking wet, still invisible, into an area of complete pitch blackness. What do you do?
I hold the staff up to my own face and whisper... Night vision? It's a green.
Elsewhere on another world, Archer and Roland are hunting down Phyrexians, and Archer has a sniper rifle raised up, looking through the scope through his night vision goggles, and suddenly they disappear off his face, and he fires widely.
Beautiful.
And, Nico, the night vision goggles appear on your face. You can now see that you are in a very small, metal-walled room, although it looks like one of the walls was very recently put in. It looks different from the other walls around it.
Are there any doors?
There are not. If you had to guess, it looked like this pipe was sealed off.
Okay, I start investigating the walls, just like pushing and pokage.
You can tell that the newest wall is quite thin.
I point my staff at the thin wall, and say, fist! Ooh, yeah, that's a red.
Okay. Do you want to narrate what this looks like?
So, like, anyone who's ever watched WWE SmackDown knows that there used to be a giant fist.
What?
Like, that was part of the stage. It was like this gigantic fist that was like right below the Titantron, and they opened every show with like fireworks shooting out of the fist from all directions. So it's basically going to be that.
This sounds so fake.
I assure you,
As
it's real.
someone who does not know what this is, I will say this has not been a helpful analogy for me.
It's beautiful.
It's a big old fireworks fist. Totally fine. Yeah, so a big old fireworks fist emerges from your staff and hits down the wall and goes sailing off. You can see that you've now opened a passage into a long, narrow metal hallway. And as your fist continues down, spewing fireworks, you can hear the sounds of frantic Koopa voices beginning to run in the direction of the very loud noise which just erupted. So... Nico is within the walls of the prison. The rest of you are being escorted into the kitchen of the prison. And that is game.
Jesus, Stitch. You and your stomach.
Extraordinary League is produced by Dan Mulkerin, with logo design by Claire Mulkerin.
Special thanks to Kevin McLeod at Incompetech.com for our theme song, Motherload, and to TabletopAudio.com for our background music and ambient sound effects.
You can find us on Twitter at SmashFic Podcast and search for the Smash Fiction Podcast on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice, and if you leave us a good review, we shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Smash Fiction is made possible thanks to our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/smashfictionpodcast. Please consider donating as little as $1 each month. It helps us keep the show going. And we have great rewards and extra content for those who help us out.
If you have any suggestions, feedback, or other contributions, send them to us at smashfictionpodcast@gmail.com and help us continue the fight.
How does initiative work again?
Are you kidding?
No, hold on. I'm just looking it up.
Outstanding.
Okay.
I have a +1. I'm writing it down. I didn't have an initiative bonus written down, so now I've written it and I never have
I've
to
waited
again.
so long for this day, you guys. This is like... I think I might just like have to quit League now, because there's no point in being
Where's
here
your
anymore.
character sheet now?